you know, they're gonna draft the receiver.
That's so, you wanted that to make me feel better, didn't you?
Nah, well, I was being completely objective.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was wondering where you were going with that.
I mean, the only problem y'all got is that Jeremy Macklin's going to play about 2 games, and then that's going to be the end of the season.
Right.
But you know, there's some dude.
And I like Jeremy Macklin.
I mean, I'm sure he's a peachy guy. You know, I mean, probably. You know. Probably ain't slipping Ambien in nobody's drinks or nothing, but
I mean, and he's a good player. That dude just stay hurt 24/7.
When he does play, he's a good player.
Absolutely. I just can't count on him to play on the regular.
I mean, I even tried to hook y'all up last year by not drafting him for my fantasy team. Because anytime he gets near my roster, that means he's going to get hurt. But I left him alone.
I want to say he was out before any other fantasy drafts took place. He got hurt in a training camp last year.
I think he got hurt on the plane on the way to training camp.
Yeah, dude tore his ACL immediately. So
who?
Jeremy Macklin.
Prev he's done again?
April Fool.
I was about to say he's dead. He's done again?
Look, that's our point, Pete. That they have left me Jeremy Macklin in the wheelhouse. And although he's a good receiver, that dude is fragile. He's what we would like to call fragile.
You got Riley Cooper, man. Riley Cooper's gonna have a bust out year, man. He's gonna like catch a.
Last year was his bust out year, dog. And they kept him to replace Jason Avant, so they have a slot receiver to go across the middle. And then they left me Jeremy Macklin, who, by the way, once again, a good receiver, not a speed guy, and he doesn't play special teams. But we're going to draft somebody. That's what Prev told me.
You got Darryl Sproles, man. Sproles is a special teams guy. So
yeah.
Okay, but my deep threat.
Darryl Sproles, yeah.
I still need a deep threat. I don't have a speed guy, no deep threat. I got nothing. Okay.
You'll draft somebody.
You got a deep threat.
I mean, think about it. Did you know who DeSean Jackson was before he started catching touchdowns?
I did.
I did.
Eagles need help on defense. They don't need that help on offense.
Well, we didn't need help on offense until we traded away our number 1 wide receiver. Oh, sorry.
Y'all
I was being sarcastic, Prev. I know we didn't trade him. We didn't even trade him. We didn't get diddly for him. We just let him go.
Want to get diddly.
Yeah. Why do you think nobody else anted up?
They weren't gonna get diddly.
Because they had already leaked that they were going to cut him. So exactly. If I can wait on the young wide receiver with mad talent and not have to pick up the $10.5 million contract, I'm gonna wait that out. I'm gonna let y'all blink first.
And how many teams are going to pay more than the 10.5 at this point?
Well, that's the point is, though, the chance you take is if you do wait out, you may not be able to get a chance to get in line if you had planned on playing that 10.5 and you don't give up something. But bottom line, you may not get DeSean Jackson, which a lot of teams aren't going to have a chance. So, and there's only a couple teams crazy enough to do it. Redskins is one.
Redskins, the 49ers are trying to get him, and
I don't think Niners are serious.
49ers are not serious. They're not paying that money for him. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that.
I didn't think so either. But
they got a whole great. They got a whole
and the Raiders.
The Raiders are serious, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's an Al Davis kind of player.
But they said something said about Tiger Woods. He gonna miss the Masters. He
had back surgery. Well, they said he had a bulging disc.
Yeah, he's on the verge of being done. He's on the verge of being done.
As somebody with a bad back, I can tell you there are thousands of things you can't do with a bulging disc, and golf is just one of them.
Golf is just one. This guy.
Uh-oh. Warehouse.
He got a mohawk and
they gave him a popsicle.
The warehouse gave you a popsicle? They're treating you well now. You're moving.
Yeah. You're going to be with a red tongue.
He got a haircut and a popsicle. That's great. The warehouse is moving on up.
We're not really moving up.
Is that a man-made popsicle or a regular one? Like, is that old school? Like toothpick in the ice tray?
in the refrigerator?
Oh, that's
ice tray?
Yeah.
It's glute shine.
Oh,
No. It's
What?
a healthy popsicle. That's like
That's defeating the purpose.
Listen, they don't mistreat you. They don't mistreat you in the warehouse, man.
I see.
They don't mistreat you in the warehouse. You gotta eat.
They do what they're giving you.
You gotta eat
They do
healthy
what
in
they
the
give you.
warehouse.
Unless they just don't feed you.
I was trying to say, unless they're giving you healthy
They
popsicles,
all
you're
they
being
feed you
mistreated.
is healthy popsicles.
Actually, I thought I was gonna be able to.
Uh-oh.
I thought I was gonna be able to finish it,
Yeah.
but the video is what I anticipated.
Hey, look, it's better than Nutriloaf. So
What the heck is a neutral? What?
you don't know what Nutriloaf is?
I don't know if I want to though.
No, trust me, you don't. It's
Oh my
prison
God.
food
Lord,
that
have
they
mercy.
give to like the
Well, that's-
wayward prisoners.
That's good. I don't know that. And I know I don't.
Yeah,
Don't want to
Well,
know
I mean-
anything about Nutrilo.
there's a certain next safety that probably knows about Nutriloaf right now.
Oh, golly! Why you got to be talking about shopping right now, man? That's terrible. That's
Man,
terrible.
you don't want the loaf? Don't do the crime.
Soap drop. That's us.
Oh,
ain't it?
Yeah.
Don't drop the soap.
Loaf and soap drop. That's a bad
Don't
combination.
drop the soap.
Oh Lord.
Where's D at, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
He froze up.
Froze
Look like he's suspended animation now.
that popsicle froze him up.
Yeah, froze
Frozen.
him up.
In time.
Hey, I heard baseball season started or something like that.
Yeah, Jason was really excited. Jay Sims and Tori shut him down real quick. Jason was like, "Oh, I'm so glad." And Tori was like, "I'm not." That was funny.
I was about to say, I didn't know baseball season had ended.
It had ended. There was a World
I
Series
can't.
and all that jazz.
I can't get into baseball until after the All-Star break. I just can't do it. It's just something. I mean, I love baseball. I mean, like you down here, you can play baseball. They play baseball 10 months out of the year. I mean, like I
They
can
play
I love
10
it.
months out of the year in the major leagues.
Major leagues, exactly.
That's
So
it.
it's like
They're 24/7 almost.
it
But
does.
at any rate,
Yes. Let's get back to what we were talking. We were talking about Tiger and his bag.
Tiger and his
Tiger, the
bag,
bad back, and
the bulging disc.
the bulging disc, and yeah, it's.
I thought they said he had a bulging disc. I'm not sure, but
I heard,
Well, I
the
mean-
first thing was, no Masters, then they said no majors, and I'm like, well, how about, why don't you just say no golf?
I was about to say, just sit down.
yeah,
Just
you're
sit
not
down.
playing this season. You're not playing this season.
Go hang out with your kids. Sit down.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
it's-
world will continue to spin, I guarantee it.
I guarantee you. And golf is not one of those things where, you lose a year and it's like, oh my God, he lost a year. What are you? No, this ain't football. I mean, even
Well,
even in
he's
certain
already
positions
lost
of
a
football.
year.
Okay, sit down.
He's already
Lay
lost
down.
a year.
Don't sit down.
Well, no, now golf is going to feel some kind of way about losing him for another year. But
Well, golf is, but here's the thing. I mean,
What's he done in the last how many years again?
Yeah, Prev, but it's always the draw. It's always
yeah, but I was about to say, but
always
he's
saying.
still the draw.
But the thing about it, when you're good in a sport like, think about Serena. Think about Serena Williams when she wasn't winning, like when she had her injuries and having her issues and off the court stuff, and she wasn't winning.
Didn't
But
she
every
still get a
time-
major one? If they were saying Serena not winning is one major a year.
No, she went a year where she didn't win a major. I mean, because she didn't play.
Okay, it was,
didn't
yeah,
play.
she
But
didn't
what I'm
play.
saying
It was
is,
1 year.
but when she played, it was just as intriguing for people to see her get beat as her to see her win. And that's what Tiger. People are intrigued and they're baffled at, wow, he can't make that cut. And then he turned around and he actually wins the tournament. Think about it. He was the player wasn't he the player of the year last year?
Yep.
You might
That's
wind up
all.
being the player of the year this year.
But just like you said, though, Lonice, I have no reason to watch the Masters at all because I mean, I can't even. I mean, the golf is just. I mean, there's.
I got nothing for you.
At least
It's a ball. It's a hole. It'll still happen.
At least with racing, like the Jimmy Johnsons of the world and the Jeff Gordons always winning.
Your juniors.
And then you
Bush
had
brothers.
Dale Earnhardt, and for a long time he wasn't winning until this year. but Earnhardt still had a appeal about him. There's nobody in golf that, like, Rory McIlroy was like the only person that had that appeal, and he's fell off like just terrible. Like
John Staley. What's his name? Daly.
Yeah, all these guys.
But people just want to see if he's gonna throw up or something.
That's right.
That's a freaking compliment. His loud pants were really his draw. That's so much his skill set.
There's nothing that's gonna make me want to turn the TV to say, let me catch this, let me catch that. Like, at least with some, certain events, you can be like, well, let me catch. Ain't nothing to catch in golf. Nothing if Tiger's not playing. If he's not playing.
I don't even watch it then. I can't watch it then. I can't watch it.
I'm with Deon. I don't really know what they're talking about.
No, it's not even exciting to me, but that's just me.
But with golf, it's not like you sit and watch a whole, 3-4 hours unless you're an avid golf fan.
Unless you're a golfer or a person that studies.
Yeah.
You don't.
If I'm a golfer, I'd rather be playing than watching.
Thank you. I would too. I mean, I learned, it was kind of look at it like baseball. I mean, it was hard for me to watch baseball on television at first. And then I went to see a Marlins game when I first got down here, and I loved it. It was so much better to go to the game.
It's always better to go.
Baseball is always a much better
baseball.
Right, but see,
I can't watch baseball on TV.
Right, but I didn't know that. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that. My first game ever going to a major game was down here with the Marlins. And from then, I started watching it on television. But golf?
Yeah, it's hard.
I grew up within spitting distance of the old AAA Richmond Braves, the Banana Braves farm team. I mean, literally walk across the street. So, there was plenty of nights as a kid. I never watched baseball on TV, but I would go to a AAA game in a second, cheap $7 ticket and everything.
Yeah, tie wore the ties, and I played baseball since I could walk, and I used to tell people all the time, when you're watching it on TV, you're really seeing the result of everything that you should be watching when you're at the game. Like I tell people, there's a story and there's things that you need to look at before the pitch. You know what I'm saying? And that will intrigue yourself about, okay, I see why they're shifting this way, or why they're moving this way, or why he may throw it. You get into it a little bit more when you can actually see it. But when you're watching on TV, all you see is the pitcher and the person hitting, and you hear the commentators telling you what's going on.
The commentators.
And they don't always do a good job. And so it's always better to go.
Yeah, they try to put you to sleep, man.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they can't tell you that the guy's leaning off.
They're too busy telling some story from 1924.
That's what it is. They need to stop telling stories.
That's what they do.
And I gotta be honest. I tuned in for the Yankees, or I used to. Now oh my goodness, not because they were good, but because they had a high eye candy factor.
Oh Lord.
But now everybody is leaving the Yankees. I mean, Derek Jeter's retiring. Mariano's already gone.
The Yankees are about to be the Lakers.
No, it's gone somewhere else.
It's a great point.
First of all, they have nobody left, but the Yankees used to be on it. Not only did they get good players, but they were easy on the eyepiece. Now they got nothing. They got nothing for a girl to watch. So
they are, like Prev said, I see them being like the Lakers.
They're gonna be worse than. They're
gonna be worse than the Lakers.
I don't think they could be worse than the Lakers. I just said I agree with him saying that.
You'll at least know who they
will resemble the Lakers.
At least the Lakers gonna have Kobe coming back healthy. They ain't gonna get Jeter coming back. Jeter's done.
Jeter is on his world tour retirement plan. There's a rocking chair for him.
And by the way, Deon, I'm gonna need you to leave them cell phones and all the stuff at the front door when you come to my house. In a basket. I'ma still need you to leave that stuff. Take off your shoes.
Take off your shoes.
I'ma still need you not to be bringing your stuff up in here.
You can't bring your stuff up in there, man.
Can't bring your stuff up in my crib.
I don't care if I'm playing or not.
What goes on at the Jeter crib stays
at
the Jeter crib. And when you leave, you can take all your stuff and a few parting gifts. I'm going to sign you with an autograph.
I'm going to hit you off with some roses, some candy, maybe a watch.
A chocolate, a signed baseball.
He gives you an autograph signed baseball.
A pack of peanuts.
He signs a jersey for you, and either a baseball card or a hat. I can't remember, but it's a nice package. It's a nice care package.
Man, please, man. That's just glorified. That's not chivalry.
And he doesn't make you do the walk of shame. Come on, Deon. He sent you home in a limo.
He sends you home in a limo.
That's not chivalry.
He sent you home in a limo. You do not have to walk
That's
down
not
the
chivalry.
I didn't say it was chivalrous. We didn't say it was chivalrous. We said it was a good plan.
Greensboro Bats own Derek Jeter.
Greensboro Bats own, exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Listen,
like 4 days.
There's nothing sweet about that. Like that's the gangster of love. You know what I mean? Like that dude's a gangster.
Deon,
when it comes to the love, man.
Deon, let's be honest. How many chicks are going there to find that love thing?
What now?
No, how many chicks are going there to find that love thing?
Okay, there's some basketball on somewhere.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying.
The Pacers suck. Let's talk about.
Well, if you want to talk basketball, speaking of the Lakers, we had the Lakers and the Trailblazers on TV right now on TNT. Ooh.
Why?
I like the golf.
You know what though, Cuzzo, you said something about the Pacers. The Pacers, it's funny because
they're terrible.
Easy on the terrible, Pete.
They're not terrible. They're not. I don't know. They're not terrible. They're just going through that, like, because I've heard this before, and I agree with the guy who said it, a friend of mine. They're going through what the Heat went through when the Heat first got together, and they don't know how to really handle it right now. But they're going through it at a bad time. Like the Heat went through it all season. I mean, they still made it to the finals, but at the same time.
I'm about to say the Heat went through it and was still the number 1 seed. So my point is, they were good enough. The Pacers don't have the talent to go through this to still win. Like the one person,
I don't know about that.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
They should have gone like 3 months ago.
Well, what I'm saying is, the point I'm making is they don't have LeBron. They don't have a guy that can pull them out of the water. So what I'm saying is, they may be equipped to still beat the Heat. Like if you put a 7-game series right now, because for some reason they get up for the Heat. It's kind of like Paul Pierce. He gets up for the Heat. Like Paul Pierce has hibernated the entire season. But when they play the Heat, he puts up 35. And that's what the Pacers do. But if the Pacers play like that and play the Bulls in the second round.
Right. No, I fully listen.
They're gonna be out.
No, I totally agree with you. And
they gotta get it together, man.
It's not like they have a lot of wow factors. They just have some really good blue collar workers on that team. And when they're on, it's very impressive.
But the thing about it being on is they follow the philosophy of, okay, they're gonna play D and they got the guys that can D you up.
You're right.
But that means the games are always going to be close. If you can't score that other basket, that one basket, you're going to lose 80 to 78. You're going to lose 84, 83. That's what I'm saying. Right. So it's not like they're the Clippers and they may have a bad shooting game. They're just not that good offensively anyway. So they always lean on their defense, which is perfectly fine because you can win a championship that way. But think about it. Just like
you're right though. Maybe it's just with the Heat because that offense, Stevenson pulling up from 3 blocks away from the arena. I mean, making it.
They get hyped for the Heat, man.
That game is on. Yeah.
Paul George.
But you can't.
So what you're saying is that all opponents, they need to dress them in Heat uniforms so that they can win?
I guess so. Because like with Miami, we know that they're Jekyll and Hyde. They've always been. That's who they are.
The Heat are doing exactly what I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. They're doing exactly what the Bulls did in the '90s. Everybody keeps thinking and remember that everybody think the Bulls had the number 1 seed every year.
No, they didn't pound everyone every time.
They had the number 1 seed, I think, twice out of those 6 championships. Of course, the season where they won 70 games or whatever, 72, and then the second season, the season when they played the Lakers, the very first season, they won a chance. But my point is, they always paced themselves. They did the exact same thing. It was like, you know what, these games, we gonna play hard, but you know what, my knees hurt a little bit. I'm gonna chill. You know what, we playing the Knicks. We playing the Knicks in Madison Square Garden on Friday night. Let's go out there and ball. Okay, we got the Charlotte Hornets against Lonzo.
So the Heat's doing what the Spurs are doing, which the Spurs pick the page from the Bulls.
When the playoff tournament start, they're gonna turn it up.
Everybody's okay. Dwayne Wade, his knees are fine.
And these Raptors and these Wizards and these Bobcats are going to realize that it's a fluke. They're going to get their ass busted. It's gonna be the same. But the point is, will the Pacers hold up their end? Because we know that the Pacers are more talented than any other team other than the Heat. We know it.
And we know that they're better than they're playing, too.
We know that. They just got to know.
I'm not sure they know it, though, because they are falling apart at the seams.
Because they're going through
dudes are having conversations about, but you can't, but they're doing something that the Heat didn't do. They're taking it outside the locker room.
Yes.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was Hibbert. Did an interview. Yeah, Hibbert did an interview, and he was talking about there's a lot of selfish dudes in the locker room, this, that, and the third. The minute you start spilling that onto the street,
the only thing you heard,
you're unraveling.
Why we getting on Johnny Manziel, man? Hey, I'm a fan now. I'm a fan.
I ain't no fan either.
First of all,
I'm not a fan, but I want to get honorary. I am not going to problem with him. He's not honorary by no means, but I'm a fan.
Listen, that whole honorary, I don't even know where that came from.
No, it came from the Dolphins. That's where it came from. That's where it came from. The honorary piece. Yeah, we established that real quick.
They the ones that said incognito was honorary.
That honorary stuff,
man.
And the honorary stuff got him in trouble.
You all, first of all, you all need to stop it. You need to stop it.
You know we're telling the truth, D.
You are not going to, as much as my cousin on I's franchise has been through, please, okay?
Hey.
But no, he is not honorary. No one can be honorary. I understand what people mean, but but why can't he be? Why can't he be evolutionary?
I told you.
We'll just see what it'll be when he get there.
As long as the kid went out there and did what he was supposed to do. And I don't know if that changed anybody's minds one way or the other, but he threw the ball. He threw it good. He threw it okay.
Why can't he be?
And that's all that matters to me.
Why can't he be a revolutionary? I mean, why can't he be?
Can you throw? That's all I want to know. Can you throw? That's it. Because there's a lot of guys that say they got QB beside their name. They can't throw.
Hey, you know what though? Is the day of it was going through all that. He's warming up. He's putting his socks on. They're playing Drake. They're doing this, and I'm just like, why is there coverage? And then McShay was on the radio. On the radio. And he brought up a point that just made me turn the radio off. Where he said, well, you know, there's one thing about these pro days, and you know, I'll tell you, the best pro day I've ever seen was Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I was sitting there thinking to myself, why were you at Jamarcus Russell's pro day?
Mm-hmm. Are you serious? He said that?
What? Well, no, a lot of people have said Jamarcus Russell
had a great pro day.
Had the most fantastic pro day they've ever seen. And I'm like, that should keep everybody from here on out from ever going to see a quarterback at pro day.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta watch the tape, man. You'd be
it's on the tape.
You gotta watch.
Jamarcus Russell was on the tape. Did you see anything on the tape that made you think first overall pick? Did you even think first round? He had a big game against Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. Were you still thinking first round?
I was not thinking. I didn't think the kid. I never really thought he was going to be like that. But I'm expecting him to be
because I didn't think he was going to be any good.
Instead of them beating that Manziel case to death, why don't they get on the Philadelphia Eagles for their character assassination?
Man, talk about it.
That they're doing to DeSean Jackson.
Well, we gotta come up with a reason, D, to make our cut. You know, me cutting him.
No, you don't.
You know,
no, you don't.
No, D. You gotta understand. I work in the front office, and I have to do that. That's what we do.
Say hey, I'm stupid.
No. The knees. That's too easy. That's the right thing to do.
character, and that's what's pissing me off about it more than anything.
That's the right thing to do, Lonice.
That's the right thing to do.
Lonice,
we gotta kill their name. We gotta kill his name because it makes us look good.
That's right.
That's what we do. All of a sudden,
jackasses, because that dude has never done anything. He's never been in trouble with the law. He's not calling Darren Sharper. He doesn't have Ray Rice on speed dial. That dude hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything to anybody. He's been good in the community, working with the kids. And oh, by the way, he took a picture, and so they decided that he was with a picture, and they decided that, okay, these must be gang members. No. It was Meek Mill, Freeway, and Young Chris. And although that might make him a bad character reference on who's a good rapper,
no. Pete,
doesn't make him a thug. What was he with, the Philly Crips? Are you serious?
I mean, come on, Lonice. And then Steve Smith, you know, he was 15 years in the organization, and all of a sudden he was trouble in the locker room.
He's the trouble in the locker room.
We gotta tell you the truth. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
It's not the truth. Not the truth.
That's you know what? Because we get paid 6 figures. We get paid 6 figures a year to make these types of decisions in our meeting room as coaches.
15
so I'm gonna
years.
let that ride.
15 years, nothing wrong with Steve Smith. Nothing. All of a sudden, he's trouble in the locker room because we've been holding that information.
Nothing wrong with DeSean Jackson in there. All of a sudden,
we've been protecting y'all.
And he's a locker room issue. He doesn't show up to meetings. He's got bad work ethic. I was like, all of that, really? Because none of that had happened until y'all decided to cut him.
You know,
we did know about the meetings because every time he wanted a new contract, he had an issue with the meetings. I'm not saying he was, like I said, he wasn't the ambient bandit. You know, he wasn't. He wasn't knocking chicks out in an elevator or nothing like that. So I'm just
like I said, he's not hanging out with Darren Sharper anywhere that we know.
But listen,
so he's okay.
Let's understand this. Okay, why not say that? Why not just say those things?
Yeah,
or maybe I'm just the dummy. I'm the dummy because if this is the NFL, we cut people every day. We don't care.
There's no reason to say. There's nothing. You don't have to say anything.
I don't have to say.
You don't have to say anything. You don't have to try to drag anybody's name under in the mud. You don't have to do anything.
And I'm gonna take it a step further. If you're Chip Kelly and you're the head coach and you did not authorize that, you got to get out there and stand in front of it then, and own up to it and say, listen, that's not why we let him go. So I don't know where that came from. It didn't come from our camp.
And that's why you respect. That's why. And I know things have happened in certain situations out of certain people's controls. But that's why you respect people like a Tony Dungy and some of these other guys. That stuff don't come out of the locker room. If they cut somebody, you just got cut. The coach cut a lot of people. A lot of people in those years. David Thornton. I mean, a lot of those guys. Cato June. Brandon Stokely. But they never was like, well, Brandon Stokely, he showed up to meetings late, so we just started to, we figured we got to cut. I mean, it's like you don't have to say anything. Just, hey, it's a business decision. We cutting them.
Business decision.
And guess what? You come back, and we're such a classy organization. I mean, I know Jim Irsay got his issues, but Coach is classy. When you come back, we're going to do a celebration and a tribute to you because we was happy that you gave the years at the coach.
Right. Because I'm going to tell you, for anyone that ever sees this video, because it's as simple as this. If my cousin right there is the Dolphins and Prev is Giants, and Giants let go of DeSean Jackson, I'm going to call him up. It's as easy as this. Hey, Prev, what happened with that? And he'll tell me whatever he wants to tell me. Oh, man, maybe some behavior issues, da-da-da-da. That's fine, because that's in-house. The media doesn't have that, because I called them and found out why you let them go. Yeah, like you just let go of DeSean Jackson. I'm going to call them. I'm going to call the organization because I'm the Cowboys. I'm going to find out why. And then I'm going to make my decision.
It's the same assessment you do when you're drafting people. You go out and you get your story, and then you make a decision. But technically speaking, it's not your place to tell the details of the story. That's not your place to say, okay, I'm not going to draft Pete Dukes because he did this. No. You ain't even got to go that far.
No.
Right.
If you don't draft Pete Dukes, nobody would know, nobody would care. But it's like they gotta sell it, man. They gotta sell it as, we're the good guys and he's the bad guy.
The reason that they tried to come up with this big spin is because one, nobody in Philly understood it, and everybody was like, "This makes absolutely no sense." Because
that was the weird thing to me. I didn't really understand. I mean, first of all, I'm with y'all. They didn't have to say anything. So, I mean, that to me, that goes without saying. The other part was everybody was like, we didn't understand. I'm like, no, I understood it. And
I can understand.
I'm not talking about pictures. I'm not talking about meetings. I'm not talking about practice.
Nope.
I'm talking about this dude is in the second year of a 5-year deal, and he talking about he want more money.
He want more money.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is saying, I ain't going to play unless y'all give me more money. And if I'm a general manager, I'm like, well, we couldn't trade him. He gonna talk about he gonna come in here in August and loaf around, and he ain't gonna run certain patterns if we don't write him a new contract. Nah, I understand that.
Right.
That ain't hard.
Right.
And the thing is,
even that wasn't in the media. Like that came out after the fact.
I understand that. I'm just saying
it can't get in the media because gang association, gang affiliation after a 1 year removed from Hernandez doing the garbage that he did, and you're gonna throw that out there with that man's name? That's horrible. That's
exactly, horrible. And it's irresponsible. Just like he said, he was like, it's completely irresponsible. But how do you? Because now you're messing with my money. Because now you're messing with my money.
And then state the obvious. And of course, we're in the land for forgiveness. But you give Riley Cooper a new deal, and then you try to throw this boy under the bus. Speaking of I don't know, call it gangster or people just throwing characters under the bus. But y'all hear about Barry Bonds giving out the award
to
Andrew McCutchen for the MVP, and he did it in Pittsburgh at the first game, and got mixed boo, got boos and cheers and boos and
took away from the whole thing.
Yeah, man, I was like, I don't even know how I feel about that.
I don't know what you think was going to happen when you asked Barry Bonds to do that.
Well, turn around and Ryan Braun got a standing ovation in Milwaukee.
Well, again, what did you think was going to happen when you asked Barry Bonds to do that?
Yeah, but Prev, at the same time, Prev.
Are you kidding me?
Who's in charge of that idea?
That's what I'm saying.
Accountability.
It's a responsibility, and it wasn't any spoon-fed truth in that at all.
Not at all. They were like, we're just going to put Barry Bonds out here. And although Barry Bonds never tested positive, let me just stand on that.
And when he was with Pittsburgh, he was balling out with Pittsburgh before all the head got big.
It's still too early. It's still too fresh and too new for people.
Please understand this now, Deon. What they are doing is they are trying to, because Barry Bonds' problem so much isn't that people think that he did steroids, because people forgive you for that. They will.
Nobody ever liked Barry Bonds.
I can tell them.
People don't like Barry Bonds because Barry Bonds was always a jerk. He wasn't media friendly.
Right. No,
he wasn't media friendly. He wasn't fan friendly.
Barry Bonds.
There's a lot of Hall of Famers that are jerks.
Yeah, and so, but he was openly a jerk on the regular all the time.
Babe Ruth was a jerk.
He never apologized for it. Yeah, but Babe Ruth was a white guy that was a jerk. You can't be black and a jerk and expect to get into the Hall of Fame. That's not what they do.
Wayne Thomas was a jerk.
That's not what they do. Okay, that's not what they do.
Thomas was a jerk.
Not and be accused of taking steroids on top of it. He's a triple threat. He's a triple threat. Okay. Barry Bonds is a
Frank Thomas gonna show up and with Miguel Cabrera and give him his award for that $290 million contract. You're gonna be like, dang, dude, $290 million.
And how old is he? How old is the man to get 30?
They are trying to rehabilitate Barry Bonds' image so they can get him into the Hall. That's what they are doing.
I will give one of you $1 million guaranteed if you can tell me why they gave that boy a standing ovation.
Ryan Braun?
Yes.
Because they don't care about the steroid era. We've established this. Fans don't care.
I don't care.
That it was the truth. That is not the evidence that we need to see.
Spoon-feeding Major League Baseball
because Milwaukee is not going to. They had a good season a couple years ago. Then they let everybody go except him.
That's not good enough.
They're not going to be a factor. They're not
They're not good enough to be
tells you,
honest.
they know Braun is their only star left on the team, and they was like, you know what? We don't care.
This dude
Deon gave us one of them Roddy White bets.
And I bet you one person that didn't give him a standing ovation, Aaron Rodgers. Anyway.
This
Aaron
man.
Rodgers was like, Aaron Rodgers, but I remember you still. I remember when nah, bro.
I
mean,
reputation on your bogus
man, that man lied and ruined the job and
accountability
for another man. That's just a regular UPS worker. I think he went out to dinner with the cat. He might have gave him some money.
Oh God!
And you gonna get a standing ovation?
Oh my God!
A standing ovation.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It is, man. Shoot, man. Who's gonna win this Final Four, man? Real quick.
Anybody left?
Florida?
I thought every team lost.
No.
I told you, Prince and the Revolution.
I was about to say, ain't nobody left. It's just like you gonna have a Final Four, and then the
Florida's still in it.
You said ain't nobody left, but you know better than the Kentucky faithful. The Kentucky faithful is really
Where in the world did they come from, dude?
They always had the talent, man. They just won't plan. And for some reason, they decided they wanted to play. For some reason,
Florida came out the locker room.
Florida's running people out of the gym. Florida's running people out of gyms.
Florida's tough. But they gonna have their hands full though.
Mm-hmm.
They going up against, in my opinion, the best player left in the daggone tournament, Shabazz Napier for Connecticut. That boy can ball.
Yeah.
He's the type of person that can save you. This kid Napier is true. And he's the type of person that could beat Florida by himself. But Florida's tough, dude. Florida's tough. Well, I'm gonna tell you though. Kentucky may be hot. But I'm going to tell you right now, the team you got to watch out for is Wisconsin. Nobody's knowing what they're doing. It's
Big boys.
It's like, how are they winning?
I know.
Who's on Wisconsin? That's the question you need to ask.
They getting coached by Ron Dane. That's who.
Monte Ball coaching.
Nah, you know what?
Nah, Bo Ryan can ball. Bo Ryan can coach, though.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah, he can coach.
Yeah.
You talking about Ron Dane? Remember those Wisconsin offensive lines? And that's what that basketball team looked like.
Man, Wisconsin.
That's why I said Ron Dane. That's what I said.
Man, remember Wisconsin's offensive line was so good they got Jim Sorgia a job. Come on now. Remember that?
Stop.
There you go.
I took a friend of mine that played basketball at Wisconsin, a girl, and we went to a Colts game, and she was like, "Hey, that's Jimmy." I was like, "Where?" What? And I'm looking in the stands, and I'm like, "Jimmy." And I'm like, "Jimmy," and I was like, "Oh, you mean Jim Sorgi?" I was like, I forgot you played basketball at Wisconsin.
Oh my God!
I was like, there's Jimmy. I'm looking around in the stands like, who? What? Jimmy for work? What?
My God. Did anyone get close to a perfect bracket?
Heck no. That thing was done in the
A lot
first
of people
weekend.
got close to perfect zeros.
Yeah, that thing was done in the first weekend.
I was in it to win it until Louisville lost. But actually, I still have Florida because I actually
You picked.
Florida
Wait a minute. You did not pick Duke to lose.
No.
To Mercer.
Yeah, not to Mercer, but I didn't pick them to make it to the Final Four.
Well, then no, you weren't in it to win it then because Duke lost to Mercer.
No, what? I needed my Final
There's a
Four.
lot of teams lost early on that made me mad. I mean, as much as I love Kansas, I didn't have them going out in the second round. I thought they might lose to Florida.
I'm not gonna watch college basketball at all next year. I refuse.
Why, man?
So I could just go off a blind whatever.
I mean, I said a couple weeks ago. I watched
blind. I don't know who's good.
I said it a couple weeks ago. I watched more college basketball this winter than I ever have in my life, and even I knew going into it when I'm filling out the bracket, I'm like, this is a crapshoot. All these are coin flips.
Oh man. Well, I'm about to get off here, y'all. I appreciate y'all hitting up again.
All right.
On up.
Next week.
Peace.
Next week.
Have a good one.